Hello, fifth graders. We are going to tackle a word work lesson today. I thought it was fitting to do this lesson in front of our sound wall, which I'll be teaching you more about when we come back face to face. So prefixes, you've probably heard of suffixes also, which we'll talk more about tomorrow. But prefixes are it's a letter or a group of letters that are added to the front of a word. And the cool thing is that each prefix has a meaning of its own. So when you add it to the front of another word, it actually changes the meaning of the original word. It's kind of cool. So it's a special tool, I guess you could say, to have in your reading toolbox, because as you guys come across long words that you've never seen before, it's going to be a great strategy for you to say, oh, I recognize there's a prefix. I'm going to cover up the prefix. Or, oh, I see a suffix too. I'm going to cover that up. And you start to find more of a root word that you can get meaning of. And then you can add on the beginning and the end of the word to try to understand what the longer word means. So it's a skill we're going to use a lot. So let's talk a little bit more about some examples of prefixes. So re, R-E, or the meaning of that prefix, if added to the beginning of a word, means to do something again. Okay, so if I add that on out in front of the word write, if I rewrite, I'm writing it again. If I re-record this video, I have to record it again. Now, you have to be careful because you have to make sure that that prefix, if you take it off, that the word that is left can stand on its own. Okay, so the word write is a word all on its own, but rewrite has a new meaning. Okay, another one is un, that means not. So an example would be unkind, you're not being kind, or unfriendly, you're not friendly. Okay, the next one is pre. I love this because if you look at it, the word prefix has a prefix. Pre means before. So that can help you remember that prefixes come before the word. So before, and pre-made. This was made before. Or a preview of a movie. You get to see clips of the movie before you watch the whole thing. Dis means not, or the opposite of, like being dishonest, you're not being honest, or being disrespectful, you're not being respectful. Im or im, again, also means not or the opposite of. So you're being impolite. You're not being polite right now. Non means not, like nonsense. This is not making sense. Let's see, even like, I'm having a hard time thinking of another good example off the top of my head. Miss, wrong or bad, that's what that prefix means. So misbehave, you are not behaving in a good way, right? All right, so those are just some examples. There are tons and tons and tons of prefixes, but that was just an example to try to help you to understand. Prefixes is a letter or a group of letters added to the beginning of a word, and it changes the meaning of that base or root word. All right, so let me just quickly explain to you what you're going to be doing for your assignment today. When you get on, you're going to see a form that looks something like this, and you're going to want to type in your first and last name, and then you have 5 practice questions about prefixes. So it says the prefix dis means not or the opposite of. An example of that would be disconnect. It's not connected. Then I want you to list 3 more words that have or use the prefix dis. In fact, I think I gave you an example of that earlier in the video. So you're going to list 3 words that have the prefix dis. Obviously, disconnect would not be one that you would use. And then you're going to do that. So I keep giving you different prefixes, like the prefix co means to do something jointly or together, like a co-author, 2 people authoring a book together. You're going to think of 3 more words that have the prefix co. All right, so there's 5 of those in total. When you're all done, at the bottom, there will be a submit button. And once you've clicked submit, then I will be able to see your work to review it. All right, so best of luck as you are thinking of words with prefixes. And tomorrow we'll be talking about suffixes that kind of connect to our lesson today. See you guys.